Hello, I'm Carolyn Greenlee with Waking Up, conscious discussions about our changing reality. And today I have a very special guest. His name is Tom Jikomes, and he is CEO of the Power Networking Club, and he's got another business or two or whatever. This guy is a busy, busy guy. But let me just, I met Tom a couple of years ago at a wellness expo that I was providing for the community. And there was Tom, and he was talking to all of the vendors that I had, and because Tom was beginning to create some expos too for his networking club. And it was a pleasure to meet Tom and many of the people that I had. All of a sudden, so it's just such a nice little networking group. So it worked really well. But Tom has a very special reason why he came to my expo. Besides, connecting with more people, he's got his own personal story that I want him to share. And I also, I wanted to bring Tom on because I believe that we are moving into an opening reality that is just going to be offering a lot, I'm sorry, many, many more opportunities. And I think some of those opportunities, they're going to be much more geared towards, honoring the self, really, choosing holistic, authentic types of, products that we use or services. And Tom is one of the most authentic people that you could meet. So, but yeah, I wanted Tom to come on so that again, he's another doorway for other people who are looking for opportunities. So he can kind of help people get started forward as well. So Tom, welcome. First, I want to hear your story because it's a beautiful story. It's sad, but yet, you made something out of that. And I really respect that when people have really difficult situations or, something really traumatic in their life. And, a lot of people, they just get angry about it and that's it. They don't move forward. They just kind of stay in that hole. But you found a way to, climb out. And actually during this event, you were in there, looking for solutions. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Tom, before I spill the beans and tell you the story or tell people your story. So go ahead, Tom, and welcome.
Thank you, Carolyn. That was a wonderful introduction. Yeah, what Carolyn is alluding to, unfortunately, is the passing of my sister in 2017. I lost our youngest sibling, a baby sister, at age 41 to cancer. And the experience that I went through during her journey, her cancer journey, forever changed the way I view just about everything and the course of my life. Because, like you said, once unfortunately something tragic or traumatic happens, it's usually the catalyst for picking up a cause. So my cause is really to help educate primarily entrepreneurs, because I'm in the entrepreneur world. I'm in the entrepreneur space, but every entrepreneur has a network, right? So if you can reach 100 entrepreneurs, you can reach 100,000 people. So our goal is to reach thousands of entrepreneurs across the country and around the world and help to educate them on what, I was awoken to in 2017. Going back just a few years, I have been an entrepreneur since 1992, which is about half my life. I started when I was 27 years old in the plastic display business. From there, I promoted that plastic display company on the cover of a local publication in Wisconsin where I was based. And it's from that journey that American Dream Magazine was created. And American Dream Magazine is basically a 4-page full color brochure that we publish for one entrepreneur at a time. And it just basically tells their story. I have published my own story, which I'm summarizing for you right now. And so part of that story is after I promoted my plastic business on this other publication, that publisher and I became good friends, and we agreed that I would be the perfect candidate to take that concept into Chicagoland, because his was strictly in Southeast Wisconsin. It's a much smaller network. So I did exactly that. I started producing actually a print book, an ad book, which, you know, was comprised of about 20 to 40 pages. And then on the cover is a different story every month. That's the way it originally began. But because of the digital age, you know, I quickly learned that the monthly publication with the deadlines and collecting the ads was not the route I wanted to go. So I developed the Power Networking Club, which is basically a membership based club where when you become a member, we publish your story as part of the service. It's a 1-year membership. It includes the publication, graphic design, and printing of your story. We put it online to a database of tens of thousands of entrepreneurs that's continually growing, and we act as a PR agency for entrepreneurs. Meaning, when I take on a new client, it's kind of like a Hollywood agent takes on an actor, says, okay, I'm gonna try to match you up with as many people and projects as I can, because I have this vast network of entrepreneurs. I know I can take all those years of experience and all that data and use it to really connect entrepreneurs quickly and efficiently. Because as we know, over 90% of entrepreneurs, basically fail. And I know that the reason for that is because of a lack of education or a lack of knowledge. I learned the hard way as a young entrepreneur. I was in the plastic display business. I made all the mistakes. Fortunately for me, I placed some ads in national publications, and I really caught a break, and my business really grew on a national level, and it really expanded my horizons. But had I not got that break, I could have easily been one of those statistics. So part of what I taught myself along the way is that I love networking. I got out into the networking space, and versus being in a factory where I make plastic displays and talk on the phone with plastic clients. So I sold the plastic business and decided to pursue marketing, which is how American Dream Magazine and the Power Networking Club were born. I'm still a consultant in the plastic business, with 30 years in that space. I have so many contacts. It's just it's impossible to get out, and there's really no reason to, because I can do it on a consulting level and just create more income. And so I took that whole experience of creating multiple streams of income and made it part of what I help others to realize. When I was very young and had just the plastic business and finances were tight, I learned very quickly not to put all my eggs in one basket. And when you're smart and efficient about how you spend your time and you build multiple streams of income, it really increases your odds of survival. And so that's what the mission is for the Power Networking Club. We want to help entrepreneurs grow their primary business as efficiently as they can, because they typically run out of money or time. And, once that happens, burnout sets in, and people just kind of bail out and go back to the W-2 world or the employee world. And it's sad to watch that happen. So the Power Networking Club is really designed to help entrepreneurs grow their primary business and teach them how to create new streams of income. And we have several partnerships in place as a result of this journey. So I can kind of judge by one's personality and experience and skill set as to where, what might interest them, and help them to pursue other, revenue streams and create new income.
Hmm. Yeah, that's great. I mean, we need people like you who, who have those connections, who know, who have all of this wonderful experience that you have. And it also sounds like you kind of you keep getting out of your own way and allowing the universe to kind of move the pieces in place that you need. So, I think that's another important piece too, is that we have to have that space where we allow the universe or God to kind of step in and you become a partner, and then all of a sudden things just starts, connecting and really moving into place, sometimes in ways that you don't expect. So,
Absolutely, 1000%. When I was a younger man and first starting out, I was really aggressive, and I could not get out of my own way. And that's typical when you're younger, and you have a limited perception of business and life. Your ego tends to get in the way. So as you get older and wiser, we say that for a reason, because we just do get wiser as we get older, and you start getting out of your own way, and let go and let God and let the universe work for you. Pray and be grateful for what you have. Don't always. I was always chasing. I was always chasing the next thing and never grateful for what was in front of me. And I think
very important.
That's a common problem that we have, especially when we're younger. So you have to be grateful for what you have. Make a business plan. Always write your goals and your plan down. Always revisit your business plan. Write it out. I email myself constantly, like I'm reporting to the boss, because when I email myself, I have a constant journal of notes, right? Because I do so much every day, and you meet new people, and you come up with ideas. So journaling is very important. Write it down, whatever works for you. Emailing myself works for me, because I think it's digital, it's permanent. I'm not going to lose a notebook. So that's what I do. And just always, it's all what I always say. When I was starting out, I thought I knew everything, and it took quite a few years to realize you really don't know anything. So
and that's a good point to get to, and that's called wisdom.
yeah, because we're always evolving, always learning. You don't cross the stage and pick up your doctorate degree. Even if you have a PhD, you continue to learn, regardless of your level of formal education. Life and business is an ever evolving platform. So yeah, you just always keep an open mind. I used to be closed off. I was, boxed myself off. I had a one-track thinking, I'm just going to do this, and get rich. And, when it doesn't pan out, you're just forced to regroup and realize. So it's always good to, listen to your, respect your elders, pick the brains of people, not only just millionaires and billionaires who have financial success, but anybody that's older has got wisdom that you don't have yet. So just appreciate everybody's perspective. Keep your ears open and your eyes open, and just keep an open mind.
And I also believe that we need balance. We need that because I come from the spiritual perspective. So I'm like, what, if you're going to let God or the universe be your partner, you've got to be able to surrender so that you can kind of allow that flow and whatever, because you don't see it. You don't see the possibilities that that creation really does have for you. So there's always that balance, kind of a dance. You got to be ready to dance too. If all of a sudden you're taking a completely different turn, and you have no idea where you're going, but when you get there, you are just amazed, and you see it as a miracle. But So yeah, definitely being self-employed is, an entrepreneur has its challenges, but we talk about the wisdom, you you grow so much just from that journey. And I believe too that, we have to enjoy that journey. It is so, so important, because I think that brings you success. And you touched on, gratitude, being grateful for the journey, for these opportunities, these connections that you have, the people that the things that you've learned. I think is really incredibly an important part of anyone's success. In whatever way, if it's business, or if it's personal, their personal journey, being a parent even. So a lot of these, great things that you talked about applies in many different areas of life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
So
well. Very
so
well.
I did want you to kind of also talk about that experience with your sister, if that's okay.
Mhm.
And how that's kind of, because I think that was part of power networking, wasn't it? Kind of bringing in some other elements.
Yep. Yep. No, absolutely. So, yeah, I got a little involved with the backstory, but I wanted
Uh,
people to realize where it all came from.
yeah, that's important.
Yeah. So, I was well on my journey of the American Dream magazine, and the Power Networking Club really the club was more born in 2018. My sister passed in May of 2017, and so as I was out there networking and building just the magazine part of it, and selling the ad space and the stories. I developed the idea for health and wealth expos, because what happened to our family, and I'll tell you from my personal perspective, is we got the phone call on April 16th, and it was, my sister had been aware of cancer for about 16, maybe 18 months. Now, she was doing chemo and radiation, which I didn't know then what I know now, but I'd never advised no one to ever do that. But she made the decision, and she was married. So, they made the decision to do the chemo and radiation. So, I just went, I just accepted that, right? Because I didn't have the knowledge I have now. So long story short, through 2016, she did chemo and radiation. I don't even know how many rounds. I don't know how much they poisoned her body, but basically what that does is really just poisons the body, and trying to kills all the good cells in the effort to try and kill a few bad cells. And so she never lost her hair, never really lost a lot of weight, and then she reported back to us that all is good. The cancer's gone. Well, it wasn't gone. It was they were telling her that there was nothing more they could do, and she was terminal. But she wanted to spare us, the agony as long as she could. So we got the call on April 16th. Go to the hospital. They've given her 3 to 5 days to live, and this came out of left field. I had no idea this was coming, so it was just like such a punch to the gut. So anyway, we went to Milwaukee, and the doctor sat us down in the room, right, where they have the talk, and told us, listen, it's spread all over her body, to the brain, to the heart. There's nothing more we can do. All you can do now is call hospice, take her home, make her comfortable, and it'll be 3 to 5 days. So, obviously, we were just devastated. And my sister, who was kind of out of it because of a morphine drip, was basically, apologizing, that she had held it, she had kept it from us. And, she is apologizing for dying. So, you know, it was the most emotionally devastating thing I think you can experience as a human being. And um, but then I got my other sister got a text message from my sister-in-law that said to call Lourdes. So I knew exactly who that was. She was a woman who came from the same town, you know, we all came from here in Illinois. And she was now an actress in LA who had survived cancer with natural means. And I knew that because of Facebook, right? I hadn't spoken to her through her journey, but I had known her prior to cancer. So I kind of watched it happen on Facebook. So I immediately called Lourdes and I put her on speakerphone in front of, you know, there was 10 or 12 family members there. And I said, Lourdes, here's the situation. My sister has breast cancer. We're at a hospital. The doctors just told her, so there's nothing more they can do. Call hospice care and take her home, and it'll be 3 to 5 days. So the first thing Lourdes said was, don't listen to them. They told me the same thing, and that was, you know, whatever it was, X amount of years ago, and I'm alive and perfectly healthy today. What I want you to do is go out and get wheatgrass, fulvic acid, and organic green smoothies, and feed that to her every hour on the hour. And so we just immediately went into action, and you know, we didn't even think twice about it. And we got out, we went and gathered all this stuff, you know, primarily at Whole Foods and wherever, and came back, started feeding it to her. Now she's catatonic, right? She's on a morphine drip. She's in and out of consciousness, and she has a DNR tag on. And if you don't know what that is, you know, it's basically when the doctors have decided that your life is over. So, you know, they have that little talk with you as a patient saying, listen, you know, you're going to die. So if something happens and you go into cardiac arrest, we just want you to sign this piece of paper that says do not resuscitate. That's what and I didn't know this until that moment, right? So they put this tag on you that says, hey, we already have their permission not to try and save them. They don't want to put the family through any more agony. So what I bring that up to say, as soon as we started feeding her wheatgrass, fulvic acid, organic green smoothies, literally within minutes, you could see her eyes open and her brain come back to life, because they're giving her no nourishment. They're doping her up with morphine. So all of this nourishment went straight into the bloodstream, straight into the brain, and you could literally see her come right back to life. And I'll just never forget it. Right. So what's the first thing she does after she had already been telling us with no emotion, hey, listen, I'm sorry, I'm dying. You guys take care of mom, you're doing your last will and testament. She went from that to, she started crying. She got emotional and she cut the tag off. And she said, I don't want to die. So what that taught me right there is from that moment, and then for the next 25 days, is where this journey it happened. This journey began that moment, because as an afterthought, I'm thinking, how many millions of people are getting a death sentence, getting doped up, and then just fading off into the afterlife because somebody with a medical degree has decided that your time is over. So it completely shifted my mindset. And I say 25 days because this was on a Sunday. This was actually Easter Sunday, 2017. It was April 16th. And by that Friday, which was 5 days later, they said, right, she'd be dead, right?
Right.
She had improved so much that they moved her out of intensive care and into a regular room. And when I tell you what an experience this was, watching her improve like that, literally hour by hour, and not one doctor or one nurse is celebrating that or saying, what is going on? What are you giving her? Maybe we should give this to every patient. They came in and out of that room, and the atmosphere was really, it's the weirdest thing. It's kind of like we were annoying them, right? Oh, you're another one of those families that thinks you're going to come in here with smoothies and save somebody after we told you it was their time to die. So
Mhm.
that's just how they made me feel, and it forever changed my mind.
Unfortunately, that is a bigger reality than people realize.
Oh, I see. Here's the point, right? Until it happens to you, I had no idea because I've never had anybody tell me a story like that and say, "Do you know?" Because you know why? Because most people, you know what they're doing? They're going, "Oh my God, you're a doctor. You are so intelligent. If you're saying that my family member is just going to die, I have to accept what you're telling me because you're just so smart." And that's how we're trained, right?
Right.
From childhood, doctors, hospitals, you go there and they make you better, right? But if they can't make you better, then they tell you when it's time to die.
Right.
And that reality was just, I mean, it was literally like just one, somebody just punched me in the gut over and over because you'd walk in and out of the hospital and you had a sense of like, well, yeah, they don't really like us here.
Mhm.
They didn't say,
Yep.
hey,
You are messing up with their status quo.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
That's not how it's supposed to work around here. And
nope.
and you're absolutely right. You've got to ask, something is seriously wrong when what we're doing is actually healing her. Why wouldn't they want to know why wouldn't they want to, find out more about this? So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's an unfortunate truth.
Carolyn, I'm telling you, um, it was an eerie feeling, right? Here, I thought, as soon as she started to improve, right? Literally, I got to tell you another part of the story. Lourdes, at that point in time, it was literally, we were in a state of mind like, oh my God, this woman has saved her life, right? Because I still tell people that she saved her life because the reason she's gone is because we didn't follow. I'll finish the story, but it wasn't her fault. She did save her life. And what happened over the course of the next 25 days, in a nutshell, is that she had improved so much. They moved her out of ICU. She kept drinking the smoothies. She kept taking the wheatgrass, the fulvic acid. I mean, for God's sake, they were trying to feed her cheeseburgers and pizza. I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm surprised they weren't offering her cigarettes and whiskey. I mean, it's mind boggling. But anyway, long story short, um, she improved, and the next part of the protocol is enemas, right? Lourdes writes about this all in her book, Create Option C, which I highly recommend. Every human being reads that book to understand what to do. Anyway, um, I had arranged for a practitioner to come in and do the enema because the hospital refused to do it. It was not part of their protocol. We were disturbing the system.
Right.
So what happened, Carolyn, is I arranged for it. I went home that night with the peace of mind, like, okay, she's going to be okay. I got a call. This was set up for 10 a.m. the next day. I got a call at 9 a.m. from a family member. And when you're married, um, your spouse has medical power of attorney. So if the doctors collude or talk to the spouse and convince the spouse that, hey, this stuff they're doing is not going to work, you're just making her uncomfortable. That's exactly what happened to us. Then the spouse canceled the enema, and I mean, she regressed immediately because you're not removing the dead cancer cells from the body. And she regressed to the point of she went into basically a coma. I had to watch my mother watch her have muscle spasms in her sleep. It was the most just disturbing experience of my life. And 6 days later, I happened to be in the room because we took turns spending the night, and I was in the room the night she passed away. I really believe with every ounce of my blood that if we had finished that protocol and it kept doing what Lourdes told us to do, that she would still be alive and healthy today, just like Lourdes. I honestly believe that. And I believe that everyone should get Lourdes's book, because in her book, she talks all about these things, all about these protocols, and she has saved lives around the world.
Wonderful.
She talks to cancer patients and family members every single day. So,
yeah, we'll put that, if you get me that information, we'll put that at the end of the video, and also put it in the description as well. And also hook me up with her. I'd like to have her on.
Oh yeah, I thought maybe you had oh, you know what? You weren't there. Her and her husband were keynote speakers at our expo right after your expo in 2019, but you weren't there. So I will definitely connect you with her right away.
It would be great. That'd be great. Because from what you're saying, there's a lot of people that would love to hear what she has to say as well.
Oh, she needs to be on mainstream media, but we all know that's controlled by pharma. So, she's the best kept secret in the world. We need to get her message out.
Yeah, there's a lot of, best kept secrets, and I believe that moving forward it's going to be about a return to nature, a return to that internal wisdom, and I believe that God has provided everything that we need to remain healthy and to get healthy if we do have a problem. And our bodies are incredible. They are such amazing healing machines that all we've got to do is take care of our body and not allow toxins to enter. But it's just like what you said. We have been trained to believe, to follow, people in authority positions, and instead of listening to our gut, we have to learn to tune up. I'm all about tuning in and just feeling. And if it doesn't feel right, but if there's something that's kind of not sure about that, then that means stop, take a pause, and check it out thoroughly. Yeah. And maybe take a different route.
I had such a reality check during those 25 days that I'm writing a book about the whole experience. They don't like people like us writing those kind of books, but my goal and my mission, getting back to the Power Expos, the Power Health and Wealth Expos, were created because of my sister, right? So I want to help to educate entrepreneurs around the world to spread the word about what's really going on, what's really how our medical system is digressed, how greed and profits have completely taken over from the Hippocratic Oath and what doctors and nurses and hospitals are supposed to be doing. And it's not the practitioners' fault. I believe doctors and nurses are wonderful people that, were driven to help others, but it's the system in which they're trained, which is now controlled by big pharma. And unfortunately, it's a reality, and it's so taken over the subconscious that the people executing the orders, the doctors, they don't even know what they're doing. I mean, in terms of
well, I think that especially with what's been going on, and I don't want to say the word because we'll get stamped about it, but the whole I'm just going to say pandemic that's been going on. It's really been opening people's eyes, and people have been really questioning, what's really going on. So I see that part as a very good thing. It's really been getting people to wake up and in a lot of different ways. So, there's always something good that comes out of something really negative and painful. And that's, as you experienced with your sister, you experienced something really incredible during that difficult situation. And unfortunately, and I'm sorry that it ended, poorly. And you didn't finish the story. Sorry.
That's okay. I'll finish it. Okay. So long story short, from basically day one, when they said there was no hope, we called Lourdes. We started feeding her the wheatgrass, the fulvic acid, the organic green smoothies. She improved. She cut her DNR tag off. She did not want to die. She had the will to fight, the will to survive. And I believe with all my heart that had we finished the protocol and had it not been interrupted by those who had control of her life, right? That's part of what I'm writing my book for, because people need to understand when you get married to another human being, they have control. They have medical power of attorney over you unless you appoint another family member. And these things are important because had I had medical power of attorney, I would have moved forward. I would have gotten her out of there. And, I believe she'd still be alive. And I'd be writing a different book, right? An amazing survival story. But it's not. It's a sad story. She had to die for me to be where I'm at. And, I will pursue this for the rest of my life. You don't do this for a year and say, hey, I did a good deed. She's gone forever. It devastated so many people. It was, just absolutely devastated all of our lives. And, something good's got to come out of it. So people will survive. People will live because of her. So that's the good. And we're all here for a limited time anyway. You realize you get older, this is really a short run here. So we'll see her again. And I'm sure she'll appreciate what we're doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sure she is very proud of you. She is smiling down at you and cheering you on. But
yeah, I think so. I mean, she was 10 years younger, and our father was never around, so I was really a father figure, right?
very
We
close.
weren't 2 years apart, so it was a unique relationship. I was more of a father. I went to parent-teacher conferences. I did the things that a parent would normally do, which is why I was, it was a deeper emotional connection and a deeper, loss is loss, right? It doesn't matter if it's there's nothing sadder than a child passing, right? I mean, she was 41. She got to live half of a normal life, but just to watch her suffer and die needlessly is, it's infuriating.
Wow. I'm sorry. And, I think that part of, moving forward is to, for people to become much more aware of the options that they do have. The many options do exist. And I think you and I both are working on opening people's eyes to many of these other things. And it really does take an internal shift of perspective in many, many ways. So, but we're going to wrap this up. But first, I also want you've got an expo coming up in August. Can you just tell us a little bit about that? And if there's any room still left for vendors,
Yes. Absolutely. So just to re-stress, I'm doing these expos in my sister's honor. They're called Power, Health, and Wealth expos, and they're designed to help entrepreneurs promote their business. And we're so unique from your typical expo because what we do is we go from table to table and make a video for every vendor, which we then post on social media all year round. We connect every vendor with each other before, during, and after the expo. We want to, teach them, because I've gone to so many expos where you just come and go, and maybe you meet one or two other vendors, and it's so hit or miss. But when you spend the time to really connect with the other vendors and build relationships, because you're all entrepreneurs, regardless of your what space you're in. We can all help each other. We can all promote each other. And that's what we're trying to teach and promote. It's not just to go to an expo, pay a few $100s, hope for the best, and move on. No, we make it like a mission, right? To really connect people with each other, the vendors, and to bring as much value as we can every day of the year, and not just on expo day. So we're planning to do 80 plus expos over the next 5 years all over Chicagoland. And we've got some major sponsors that are getting involved. And, we hope to make this a very big and powerful platform to help all entrepreneurs. So yes, thank you. It's coming up on August 18th. All of the information is on powernetworkingclub.com. We start at 11 a.m. And go all the way to 8 p.m. It's a really powerful day. We've got engaging speakers. It's a professional speaking organization that's coming in. The CEO and the one of the other leaders are coming in. We're going to do 30-second pitches. Every vendor will do a 30-second pitch on the stage, and they will get advice from engaging speakers, and they will be exposed to all kinds of tremendous value. So I highly recommend any entrepreneur that's really serious about growing their business to come out and join us.
Yeah, I was at, was it last month with the last expo?
It was May. It was May. Yeah, 2 months ago.
Oh my gosh, that long ago. It seems like it was just recent. But yeah, I was also a vendor there, and it was a great experience, I have to say. It was really a wonderful experience. So I highly do recommend, if you are in the area, and this is going to be in Oakbrook.
Yeah, at the
DoubleTree.
DoubleTree Hilton Hotel.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so the public will be able to come in starting at 4 o'clock from 4 to 8. Is that right?
Correct. It's vendors only from 11 to 4 because we make the videos, and we want to control the sound in the room and make sure everyone gets a good quality video. And this is the time where all of the vendors really bond with each other.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and practice speaking, because we were all doing that, and I thought that was great. Putting everybody on the stage. So that's wonderful, because it's just speaking is not easy. Well, and they say it's one of the people's worst fears. So I think it's really wonderful, and I think having engaging speakers there it's brilliant too. So so we're gonna have to wrap this up. Is there anything else that you want to tell the the people watching this?
Yes. My final thought would be, if you're an entrepreneur and you're interested in growing your business, connecting with other entrepreneurs, getting some real connections, come out and join us at the Power Health and Wealth Expo. We're going to be doing them pretty much every month starting next year, now that we're coming out of this 2020. And, also learn about the health aspects. It's not just about building your business, because without health, wealth is meaningless. Steve Jobs, with all his money and resources, couldn't save himself from cancer. So, your health is your most precious commodity. So come out and learn about all of the different things we're doing to improve the lives of people in terms of their health, and then helping them build their business with wealth. And I'm grateful to you, Carolyn, for all you do. You did some meditation for the group at the last expo. Hoping to see you back again soon to do that. People really love that, and I highly recommend they connect with you. And I thank you for what you're doing.
All right. Well, thank you, Tom. Thank you so much for coming on, being a guest. I'm sure that the listeners really got some benefits out of your wisdom and all that you do. So I will make sure that the information for how to reach Tom, and also information about the upcoming expo will be again at the end of the video, and also in the links and everything in the description of the video. So thank you again, Tom. I really appreciate everything that you're doing. I think that that the future is definitely much brighter because of of your experience and your determination. And I think that's going to be awesome. So thank you everyone for joining us, and I hope to see you again next time.
Thank you.
Abundant blessings to you all.